So we have this new song coming out, and yeah, it's part of an upcoming album, Stranger Songs, which is going to be out in June.
Yes.
Okay, and you're a huge Stranger Things fan, obviously.
Yeah, there's something about that show. I think it's that I grew up in the 80s.
Yeah.
That makes me feel really nostalgic and like makes me feel like I'm home again in this like warm cocoon.
Right.
I just love the show so much. I love the escapism of it. I just love it. And I wanted to make another record, but I didn't want to do another record that was just Ingrid Michaelson making another record singing about blah 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 blah. So I thought, a side note, I'm working on a musical for Broadway that's based on The Notebook.
Yes, I'm so excited for this.
So I've been writing these songs from the point of view of these characters.
Right.
You further the storyline. And so I thought, let me see if I can kind of do this in my pop world.
Yeah.
And write music from the point of view of these other characters. And inevitably, as a writer, your own mind and your own heart and your own experience kind of pushes through that lens as well. But so, for instance, Missing You is about the Nancy, Steve, Jonathan love triangle, and I won't say any more.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But
so is every track on the album actually inspired by a character or a storyline or something? Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, there's one song that's kind of my point of view of why I wrote the whole record, and that is again the idea of just of missing being younger and that this
the innocence
nostalgia
of the 80s.
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And everything else is pretty much from a point of view of a character or of multiple characters. If you don't know the show though, you won't know. And if you do know the show, you'll pick up on all the little Easter eggs.
Pretty fast. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you work? Sorry.
No,
did you work with the Duffer Brothers or the show at all?
No, this is all me.
Do you have any
we got
songs in the
permission.
upcoming season?
So they only do score and actual songs from the 80s. That's how legit they are, and I like respect that because it's what makes the show so good. They don't falsify things.
Did you tell them you were doing this?
Yeah, they were super
so
cool.
you ran it past people.
Yeah,
legal
Netflix.
stuff.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. They've been nothing but supportive. They're like, oh, run with it. Dude, they're even letting me use their font for my name.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, they're being really, really rad and supportive.
What do you miss about the 80s? I was a child of the 80s too.
I mean, honestly, I miss, and now this is going to make no sense because I'm constantly on my phone, but I miss not having a smartphone.
Right.
I miss not being tied to that. I was talking the other day to my manager about, like, what did I do when I went to bed? I didn't have a TV in my room.
No.
I didn't even have a phone in my room.
Oh,
My
you weren't
parents
allowed to
didn't
have a
let me
phone? Okay.
So I was like, I guess I just went to sleep. Maybe I read a book, and I was like, what did I do? Because now I'm like on my phone constantly, and it's like a drug.
It is.
So I really miss the just the freedom of being a human without this screen attached to me that I'm obsessed with now.
I guess we would gather around and watch TV at night.
Yeah, we would. And I had a TV room
it.
where the kids hung out.
Sure,
there was our little den where my brother and I would watch TV. So maybe we'd watch TV and then we'd go up to sleep, whatever. But like, there's something about patience. Like if you want your friend to call you, you'd have to wait till your mom got off the phone. Like, or you didn't know things immediately. You had to like wait for things. There's something that I think growing up with the idea of having to entertain yourself and the concept of patience, I'm so thankful that I had that in my life because I do not have that now, but I know that I had it at some point. And I miss that. I miss that feeling, and it's just impossible to.
No, you can't get it back. But it's
now.
fun to
That's
think
kind of one of the fun things about Game of Thrones, for
Mm-hmm.
instance.
Leave again, guys.
No, they can stay. Is that it comes out every week, and it's that old feeling of like I gotta wait.
I know.
For my
I am
show.
so looking forward to it every week. That's right.
And you gather around, and you get your snacks together, and like my whole family, my brother and his my sister-in-law and my niece who live upstairs, they come downstairs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I love that.
Will's daughter who lives with us, she comes up with her boy. We all sit around and we watch the show together, and it's like this is what we used to do, with
how it was
Cheers.
back in the day when a show would come on, right? Yeah.
So there's like I love the sort of rituals and things that we've kind of lost.
We have
a
lost
lot
some
of
those.
a lot of that.
We had gone out to dinner last night, my family, and my son, who's 11, he wanted to get dessert, and I go, no, we have to get home for Game of Thrones. You'll take it to go. Because I wanted to get home and have that experience with my wife.
Because you want to watch, you don't want to DVR it,
right?
And you want to watch it in real time with everybody. Also, because you're afraid you're gonna
get
spoiled, right? Which
my son had dessert. I don't want you to think I'm an evil person.
Listen, I'm all about going home and watching.
Oh, you were
Game of
cool with
Thrones.
that.
Oh, I would be like, no dessert. No, you can have.
Get in the car.
Yeah. You can have.
I'm sure
some
it's a
Kit
real problem, anyways.
That's a great point. It really is. Thank you, Sugar
Putting
Police
out
over
dessert
there.
Here or there is not a bad thing.
Yeah. When you were back in the 80s, I was thinking of something that we did at my household. Were you taught how to answer the phone? When I was a kid, we had to answer the phone. Valentine household, can we help you, please?
So I just said hello.
Okay.
But then my father was the grammar police, and
Okay.
it would say, can I talk to Ingrid? And I would say, this is her, and he would be like, this is she. He would yell from the other room,
No.
this is she.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so I would have to, and then I would ignore him, and so if this is she,
Mhm.
and then he would also pick up on the other line if he knew, because
if
at
it's a
some
boy or
point,
something?
at some point. In my teenage years,
Yeah.
all the phone calls were for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like every
Right.
once in a while, there was one for
God,
my
I
mom
got
or my
none.
dad. And my dad would pick up the phone and he would go, smello all the time.
The grammar police guy would say smello.
Yeah, to try to embarrass me.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, get off the other
Get off the
line.
phone.
I'm with my friend. You're embarrassing me.
Did
He's
you-
like, smello? Smello? Like he couldn't
my
hear
gosh.
me. I was like, oh my God, you're so embarrassing.
Did you have brothers and sisters? I
I
forget.
have an older brother.
Okay, were you?
My older brother was like the age of the kids in Stranger Things. Like he
Oh,
played Dungeons
okay.
and Dragons.
Mm.
He
D&D,
was that kid. He
Right.
was the, sorry, Charlie. He was like kind of like the one
Okay.
that people made fun of and picked on, and
Yeah.
breaks my heart now because I wasn't always the nicest sister to him because we were,
Sure.
I remember one time he made me so mad. I went into his room. He had a boom box with the antenna, and
Yeah.
I pulled the antenna up and I snapped it in half.
No.
And then I felt really bad immediately, and I fed it back into the thing. And he
Yeah.
was like, "My antenna broke," and I didn't tell him for years. And
Oh, you did tell him though,
I told him
eventually?
eventually. It was out of anger. I did it. But anyway, he was that kid. He was
Yeah.
those kids. He
I was that younger, brattier brother that my mom and dad would have me hide behind the bushes when my sister came home from a date to make sure she didn't kiss the guy on the front porch.
Oh,
I was the one out there hiding
that
in the
was,
bushes.
that was
Like,
nice.
Well, what did I know? I was a kid. I was,
Right.
16.
He's 16.
No, I was much younger. I was much younger. Well, this is cool. I'm excited for you. It is so neat to have you in here.
Thanks.
It's been a while since you've been here.
Has it?
Honestly, yeah. It has.
Seems like it. Did the label push back or anybody push back on your themed album?
There is no label.
There's
I
no
am
label?
my own
Nice.
label.
Good for you.
So you're doing your own stuff?
Yeah.
So you just have management, but you're doing your own label stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
So all that money's yours then, right?
Yeah, but all the money spent is mine too.
Oh, that's a fair point.
Yeah, so that's a
Oh.
whole other can
Right.
of worms we can
What would you
get
tell an
into.
artist that's starting out right now to self-publicize and do all their own stuff? Self-publicate? What's the word? Self-publish? Don't laugh. I said self-publicate. It could be a word. It could very well be a word. I'm self-publicating. in the corner.
Publicate. I don't know. I mean, I think I honestly this is a very strange world we're in right now in the music world,
Right.
and I don't even know what's going on. So I don't think I could give advice.
Oh,
To be
okay.
honest, I feel like we're in flux. We're in a place where you just have to be everywhere all the time,
Right.
and you got to hit the right side. It's really tricky. Don't do
Yeah.
it. That's my advice.
Don't do it. Well, haven't we said that the kids who have talked about getting into radio or something?
Yeah.
Like,
told them
do a
that.
podcast. Do
I mean,
something
do
else.
it if you love it, obviously.
Right, of
If
course,
it's the
if there's
only
a
thing you
passion.
can do, but then you kind of have to be everywhere at all times, and there's just so many things you have to do to get in front of
Right.
people's faces. But you know what? It does seem that really amazing artists are all of a sudden you'll hear about them, and they did this set here and it went viral, and so I it's a tricky world right now in the music world. There's just so much that it's hard for even someone like me to navigate. I think that's why I really liked the idea of I didn't, like I said before, I didn't want to just do another record that was just me, because it just felt like it was falling flat. I was like, eh. So having a catalyst like Stranger Things, having an inspiration,
A muse.
so that there you go, have a muse, get a muse, find a way in that helps you create through a different lens. I think that's for me what I'm doing right now, and it's really been really exciting and really rewarding.
Let's play the song.
Okay, it's
Go
called
ahead,
Missing
introduce
You.
it.
Missing You.
Oh my God.
It's called Missing You.
You don't have to yell.
They heard you. Here's Ingrid Michaelson.
It's called Missing You.
So what else is on the radar for you? What else are you working on? You talked about the Notebook.
I want to ask you a notebook question.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to ask the same question, though.
Ask yours.
Because something happened in here very organically on the air one day. Jill knows the Notebook inside and out.
Yes.
And you said something about how you didn't like the birds at the end.
No, I didn't realize.
Because I brought that to your attention.
Yes. Yes.
what the birds meant?
Right.
She said she didn't like that shot of the birds, right?
No, I just didn't understand the birds.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Put two and two together. At the very end of the movie, after what happens.
Don't spoiler alert.
Right.
A movie from 1995.
I'm only 2 pages in, by the way, so don't spoil it.
Okay. There's a scene of all the birds flying.
Yeah.
And I didn't put that together of like, that's them.
And then
if I'm a bird,
said,
you're a bird.
Is that because of that? If I'm a bird, you're a bird.
And I didn't think of that.
Oh, yeah.
I was too busy crying.
Oh my gosh, right.
Because of that scene.
And when I watched that movie for the first time with my friend years ago, at the end of it, we're like, why did we do that to ourselves?
Every time you watch it, it's the same
You're like,
thing.
Maybe it'll be different. It's like when I watched Titanic, I'm like, maybe this time she'll realize there's room for him on that door.
Oh,
was
for God's
so
sake,
much
there was
room.
so much room
There
on that
was
door.
room for
It was
both of them.
ridiculous.
That bitch was taking up too
Yeah.
much room.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Poor Jack. Anyway, spoiler alert, Jack dies in Titanic.
You know that I actually had kids years ago. I think it went on the radio. This might have been when I worked down the hall or something at the station. But we talked about the Titanic and how it's sinking. And the scene is just so powerful.
Spoiler
People are like,
alert.
What are you doing? Why'd you
It
tell us it
sinks.
sinks? I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, no.
History.
No.
What
But
are we
every time I
doing?
watch Titanic, I'm like, but maybe this time it won't sink. Like, maybe they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure this out and they'll close a
Maybe-
few doors
yeah,
earlier
they'll
and the
figure
water
it
will
out.
stay in the
Yeah,
hold.
they won't. They'll see that iceberg a
Right.
little sooner.
Right.
What was your question about Notebook, though?
Mine is about the birds. But
Mine was about, it might be too far away to even answer this question, but like with Sarah Bareilles doing Waitress,
Yeah.
and then eventually she
Oh.
was in Waitress.
Oh, yeah.
Could you see yourself eventually being in this?
Well, the songs I'm writing are difficult to sing, and I think I'm a good singer. I think I have my qualities, but there are notes
range-wise
that
you're
I
talking about?
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some notes that I can't hit, so that can always be adjusted. You can adjust keys and things like
Right.
that. I think I'm open to the idea if it makes sense
Mhm.
musically for me and casting wise if it makes sense, but it might not make sense, and I'm totally fine with that.
But you have such a beautiful voice. Are you writing an opera? What are you doing here? Or why are these notes so high?
it's more like it's more that like belting, like high belt.
Okay, you're holding it out for a long time.
Just notes that I can't reach in my chest voice.
Fair
okay?
enough. Fair
That's
enough.
what I
Okay,
say.
fair enough.
Okay.
Are you
All right,
gonna
all right, you're yelling
write
again.
a demigorgon into it?
Yes, there already is one.
Oh, cool, good.
And
Can't wait.
it's a Stranger Things Notebook mashup.
Are you living in LA?
I live in New York.
You live in New York.
Brooklyn.
Okay. What do you love about New York?
I love everything. It's just
Do you
so
really?
great. I love everything except I hate August and I hate February.
It's too humid and too cold.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then you come out here and you soak up this weather for a
What do
while.
you love about Los Angeles?
The weather.
Yeah.
It's really
it's freezing
ridiculous.
right now. It's very cold out there.
Freezing.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought about wearing
freezing.
Uggs today. I did. I was
Uggs
gonna
and
put 'em on.
leggings. I love New York. New York is unlike anything else. It's like a magical land of
Mhm.
wonderment, and there's just always somebody somewhere close to you. You know, I live in an apartment where I know there's people all around me and on top of me, and you just feel this anonymity that's really lovely in a way. You know,
That's funny. People all around you, but still feel anonymous.
that's why you
Yeah.
feel anonymous.
It's amazing.
because you're just
lost
part of
in that
this
crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go
I
into
lived
your
there for 2 years, and I think that was all I could take.
yeah.
Like, I like the energy. I love the energy. It was
Right.
cool at the time, but it did feel like a little claustrophobic to me after a while. Like
Yeah.
the restaurants are so tight.
Too close.
The grocery
yeah.
stores, the aisles are narrow.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's a little too tight for my
Yeah,
taste.
I mean, that's where I've been my whole life. I went from Staten Island to Brooklyn, so.
Right.
But I love it there. I love it here too, though. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
we're not taking any
I
offense.
just
It's
saw.
not
I
taken.
actually just saw a house yesterday.
And you thought about it?
Well,
You
it
thought
was
about
way too
moving?
expensive. But I went to see it anyway on a whim,
Okay.
and it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Are you an open house person? Will you stop by if you see open house signs and get cookies?
Well, Lynn, my manager, is, and she was like, "Let's just go. Let's
Are you a
just
cookie
see."
person at the open house?
No, she's an open house. So,
Oh, I know, right?
so we went to go look because I am looking for something here.
Okay.
It was the most beautiful house, everybody.
What
I
neighborhood
couldn't
was
stop
this in?
thinking about it. Los Feliz.
Okay.
Have you checked Santa Clarita? It's a
No.
beautiful area.
It's
I know
bar.
the Santa Clarita Diet.
That's where it's
Which
based,
just got
yeah.
canceled.
I
It
know.
did?
That's so sad.
I really liked that. I only saw the first season. It's the most. If any of you guys have $7 million to spend on a house, this is
Gift
the one
it to
for
you.
Oh yeah, and then give it to me.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it. I get like house boners.
Dude, so does my wife. I don't even
What?
want her to use house boners.
Yeah, I know. I heard it the first time. Why'd you repeat it?
I don't even like when she looks at those apps because she
it makes me sad.
She'll think about it for days.
I'm thinking about the tile in the bathroom of this one bathroom.
Subway tile?
Yes, subway tile. No, it's beautiful, like artisan crafted. No, it's so gorgeous, and I can't have it. And somebody else will be living there, living my life, living my perfect life.
Your perfect little dream, right? Okay. Ingrid, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks,
This
guys.
is fun. Come back again soon. Don't waste so much time between visits.
So I should just keep making more records. I'll just keep getting more and more nostalgic. You know what? I was thinking it'd be funny if I just make every one of my records now is just based off a TV show. So my next one will be like Game of Thrones inspired.
Yes. But if you want to get
I already have ideas.
Let's go back. Would you do Fantasy Island? Would you do Love Boat? Would you do Knight Rider?
That's a little too. You're a little older than me.
And you might not sell too many of those these days.
I would do let's see,
you said Cheers.
Golden Girls.
Yes.
Golden Girls.
Do it.
Golden Girls. Thank you for being. No, I do think I want to do a Game of Thrones record.
Did you listen to the For the Throne album?
I've heard some of it. Yeah, I've heard some of it.
Did you see the coffee cup? Did you see the coffee cup in Game of Thrones?
I did. What is up with that? How did they not know to cut that out?
I have no idea. Continuity. Somebody missed it.
I don't think it was on purpose, right?
No,
because
they're
so pristine with everything. The fact that there was a coffee, I didn't even notice it until everyone was like, "Oh, the coffee cup!"
Right, there's coffee cup.
Everyone was drinking. There were cups everywhere, so they probably just saw it as another cup and.
Right.